All right, welcome back to 11:30 The Tiger Podcast. This is the NFL podcast. Looking forward to Week 4, and folks, hold on a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
All right. Well, it appears that Houston Texans defensive end J.J. Watt is most likely going to be placed on the IR and miss the remainder of the season after he re-injured his back that he had surgery on this offseason. So a huge blow to the Houston Texans defense and especially the team because he was just starting to go on a roll. And so now I definitely don't think Jay, I think we're getting a phone call. Can you answer that for me?
Hello.
All right. Press answer. All right, welcome to 11:30 Tiger. Who's this?
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Oh, okay. Well, that was a Houston Texan fan calling in. And I guess things aren't looking well in Houston now. I think things are not looking good for the Houston Texans after J.J. Watt is most likely out for the season. Okay, Jay. Well, he had surgery to repair his back, which it put him in 6 to 10 week recovery plan, which he did, but it was a major surgery to fix a herniated disc in his back that he hurt during the playoff game against the Chiefs last year, as well as his groin injury. He had surgery on that too. Before we get started with the week, do you think J.J. Watt came back too fast?
I certainly did. I think that I don't know if it was the trainers and the coaching staff that just wanted J.J. Watt back, or if it was just J.J. Watt's desire and will in forcing himself to come back. But I think he came back way too early. I really personally believe that they should have kept him out till at least week 8.
All right. Well, hey, I think we're getting another phone call. All right, welcome to 11:30 Tiger. Who's this?
No! God, please, no! No!
Okay, JD, do not let him call back in again, okay?
I'm sorry, man.
All right, yeah. Do not answer that phone number again. All right, so let's go ahead and move
He's
on
our
to...
only caller we've had the past 2 shows.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started, Jay. Start naming off the games. We will make our picks, and we'll make it not 50 minutes again.
All right, yeah. As last week, though, Dylan won up to me. He went 9-7, and I went 8-8.
Booyah!
Yeah, okay. But anyway, we'll start out this week with the Thursday night matchup.
Okay.
As the Dolphins will travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals.
Well, we did see the Dolphins somehow come back from the Browns and beat the Browns. Somehow they let the Browns get ahead of them with Cody Kessler at the realm for the. He couldn't even get it done in Southern California at USC. I'm going to go with the comeback kids of Miami, JK. There's no way I'm going against the Bengals at home. I say the Super Ginger gets it done, about 300 yards passing. A.J. Green gets me about 30 fantasy points with a bunch of touchdowns. Put me down for the Bengals over the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Dolphins, they struggled to get a win against, in my eyes, the worst team in the NFL. I believe that Jarvis Landry will have a good day, and I think the Bengals will only win this game by about 5, but it's still going to be a victory, which is a victory in the NFL.
We're on to something.
All right, what's the next game there, Hoss?
All right. Now, this one is going to be 8:30 in the morning Central Time Sunday as the Colts
London game. Oh, God.
and the Jaguars travel to London to take on each other. A divisional matchup in London. And
Why do we play games in London? That's exactly what London sounds like right now, especially when they hear that they might get an NFL team in London.
which I think is just,
Why would they do that?
Well, I mean, because it's called the National Football League, and you got to have it. it's the world's best. So I mean, why not?
Well, I will
guess.
tell you this: I'm not going to wake up. Well, I'll be in church during these games, and even if I didn't, I would not wake up at 8:30 to watch it. Maybe if you put it on a Saturday, maybe. I don't know, or man, I just do not like that at all. Anyway, all right.
I'll go first. It's a game where both teams are very out of their cycle with their sleep, and they're going to feel like it's their body's not going to be ready for it. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the Jaguars, even though I've picked them the past couple weeks to get a victory for the first time, for the love of God, Gus Bradley, get your team together and get this victory. I
can say
for both teams, it's a road game at a neutral site, but I'm taking the Jaguars on the sole fact that the past couple times they have played in London, the Jaguars have won. So give me the Jaguars. I'll take them.
All right, you have Blake Bortles as your fantasy quarterback. You're a big believer in the Jaguars.
Here much longer.
All right, well, you picked them. I think you picked him because he's your fantasy quarterback. But for this week only, after this, he's no longer my fantasy quarterback. Andrew Luck. I'm going with the Colts over the Jaguars. I think Andrew Luck, I think Jalen Ramsey, that trash talker, he shut down Steve Smith, but Steve Smith's like 37 years old, and he's bragging about it. Let's see him do that to T.Y. Hilton. Let's see him do that to, I don't even know the other receiver names. T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
And they don't have anybody else, but let's see him do it to T.Y. Hilton, someone a lot faster, younger, more athletic. Let's see. Frank Gore's been having a decent season, a lot better season he has been lately these past couple of years. So, I'm going with the Colts over the Jags.
All right, into our next game. 12 o'clock on CBS, we got the Titans taking on the Texans in NRG Stadium.
Again, Houston took a huge blow. But they still got Jadeveon Clowney. They still have Vince Wilfork. They still have Brian Cushing's out. That's about it. Well, they got, their secondary is still really good. But the Tennessee offense, as we said in our last podcast, it's just god awful. I think the B-Par Bossier Titans offense is better than the Tennessee Titans offense. So I'm going with the Texans. I think Brock Osweiler is still doing a decent job, not up to expectations, especially to that contract that the Texans signed Osweiler to. But he's doing all right. So I'm taking the Texans in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Texans too. The Titans offense is just, like we said, it's god-awful. Their defense will keep them in the game. I think Texans will win this game by 3. But it's just their defense is going to be on the field way too long to get them the victory, with the Texans' defense being able to shut that offense down. And the Texans can move the ball. We'll be able to move the ball against the Titans. So, I have the Texans winning. And into our next matchup, we have the Cleveland Browns heading to the nation capital to take on the Washington Redskins.
Gosh.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Redskins.
You know what? Even though I think they're not going to go to the Super Bowl or anything,
Get those clothes.
but I think the Browns are going to get their first victory of the year. I think, especially with all this stuff about everyone in the locker room basically hating Kirk Cousins because he's not a good leader. He's very indecisive inside the locker room and out and on the field. They don't like Kirk Cousins hard as reports are saying. They wish Colt McCoy was out there on the field leading the Skins. But I'm taking the Browns in this one. I'm taking them the road team in DC. So hey, Kirk Cousins.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah. So I think if Kirk Cousins has an awful game, I think they put in Colt McCoy next week, or even just pull him this game. We'll see what Gruden has planned or how peeved he is already with Kirk.
All right, and then
Captain Kirk.
on to our next matchup.
Hey, you didn't even say.
What?
Did you give your?
Yeah, I said, just give me the Redskins. I didn't
okay.
say why,
All right,
because know it's the Browns. Solely saying it's because they're playing the Browns. Anybody that plays the Browns this year, I'm
Cody
picking those.
Kessler is the savior Cleveland needed. Now just sign LeBron to a tight end deal and you'll be fine. All right.
All right, in our next matchup, at 12 o'clock on Sunday on Fox, we have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the New York Jets.
I am actually intrigued by this game.
I am too.
But how's Russell Wilson doing?
He's out.
He's out. You have Trevon Boykin playing against Ryan Fitzpatrick in MetLife with Darrelle Revis, with Matt Forte, with Brandon Marshall, with I don't know who else plays for the Jets.
Eric Decker. Where are you going with this, Dylan?
I'm going with the Jets in this one. That's where I'm going with this one. I think the Legion of Boom is not what it used to be. And I think the Harvard grad is going to beat the Stanford grad in Richard Sherman. Fitzpatrick, I think he has a great game against the Legion of Boom. I think they come in confident as they are 2-1. I'm sorry, they're 1-2, but they're confident with their game last week. And
they're very confident in that 6-interception performance by Ryan Fitzpatrick they're doing?
Yeah, no, seriously, I think they are. I think that they are going to come back. They're going to bounce back. This is the NFL. These are the best players in the world. They really don't get too unconfident. As you can tell, you talk to any Browns player, and they think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I'm taking the Jets because they're at home and because of Revis Island, because Russell Wilson's not playing and Trevon Boykin, a rookie who really just runs outside the pocket too much. So, yeah, I'm taking the Jets.
All right, yeah. The Jets, Ryan Fitzpatrick throws 6 picks last game. The Seahawks are 2-1.
With the whole confidence thing, it was very sarcastic. I don't know. I know you can catch it. I just don't know if people listening know my sarcasm.
But the Seahawks are 2-1. They got a lot of confidence going after, even though they slipped against the Rams. This is the week where I think even though Russell Wilson, actually I take this back. Now that since Russell Wilson's going to be out of the game, I think their offense is going to be slowed down. And I am actually with you on this one, Dylan. I'm taking the Jets on, and my main reason why is because when West Coast teams travel to East Coast to play a game on the East Coast at 12 o'clock Central Time or 1 o'clock, that is, what would I say? It'd be 10 o'clock in the morning their body is used to. So I feel like it's going to be hard for the Seahawks to get up and motivated. I mean, they're going to be motivated for the game, but it's going to be hard for them to get up and get ready to play this game. And I think the Jets are going to win this game by 14.
Really? All right. So I'm very shocked. I thought you were going to go with the Seahawks on that one. So,
and on to our next game. We at 12 o'clock p.m. again on CBS. My New England Patriots are at home to the Buffalo Bills.
Well,
I'll let you go first, Dylan.
I won't get fined.
Well, JD, just because you like the Patriots, and do we know who's starting for the Patriots this week?
Julian Edelman.
Seriously.
Seriously, if Brissett and Garoppolo can't go, they're starting Edelman.
You see, I think Garoppolo's gonna play, so I'm going to go with the Patriots just because Garoppolo I think is gonna play. But if he doesn't, I don't know how to say his last name, so I'll call him Brisket. If Brisket plays, if Brisket plays, I think that the Bills will pull it off. But if Garoppolo plays, I say Patriots pull it off. So I'm going to go ahead and say Patriots.
So you're sitting there telling me that the Bills defense is better than the Texans defense, which Brissett beat.
Well, it is now without J.J. Watt, who anchors down that defense.
Well, J.J. Watt did play in that Patriots game with Brissett at quarterback, and Brissett absolutely.
Well, J.J. Watt was still suffering from
commanded
that
that
back
game.
injury.
Well, all I'm saying is I think that the Texans defense is 10 times better than, well, I wouldn't say 10 times better. They're better than the Bills defense, and it doesn't matter who you put at quarterback for the Patriots. They're going to win this ball game because they're at home. And like I said last week, they were 113-19 at home since 2001, and now they are 114-19. They're about to be 115-19 at home, and I got the Patriots win this game.
I tell them how great they are before the game. You know, they know how I like it, and that's.
They know how Brady likes his balls. But all right, Jay. So you always go with your Patriots. You think they're going to go 4-0? I think they'll go 4-0. I think they'll go undefeated the rest of the season and lose in the Super Bowl. So let's go on to the next one.
Against who? The Giants?
I don't know. I have a cool story to tell about that later. Go ahead.
All right. Next game, another 12 o'clock matchup on Sunday on Fox. The Carolina Panthers travel to the Georgia Dome, take on the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, what can I say about the Panthers last week? Vikings are who they thought they were.
You picked that game right, by the way.
I did. After watching the Vikings play the Packers, I just thought to myself, Sam Bradford is the best thing to happen to Minnesota since Brock Lesnar, and I did not see that butt whooping coming. But I think Cam Newton bounces back. We saw the flaws Monday night with the Saints and the Falcons. Yes, the Falcons destroyed the Saints, but again, it's the Saints, and the Falcons did not really play well at all. They're not going to run that well against Kuechly and that Panther defense. So lock me down for the Panthers beating the Falcons by at least 14.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I got the Panthers winning this ball game on the sole fact that the Panthers, their 2 losses are to 2 undefeated teams right now in very close ball games. And the Falcons have no defense. And I think Cam Newton's going to light them up. And their defense is going to be able to slow down Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, who had a huge game against that pathetic Saints defense. And I don't think
Where's Rob Ryan?
I don't think Matty Ice is going to be able to throw the ball that well against that defense either. Julio Jones might go over 100, but don't count anymore from that offense. That's it.
Yeah, so we agree on that one. Nice. All right.
The next matchup, we got the Raiders traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens.
We got the Oakland Raiders playing against the Baltimore Ravens, named after a poem. Very, very. So basically, you got the rowdiest fans in America with the Oakland Raiders going into the only NFL team that I know of that has a marching band. So, it's a tough one. But I'm going with the Oakland Raiders on the road. I think Derek Carr having a heck of a year for the Raiders. Definitely, I think, just statistically right now, he could be an MVP candidate. 17 for 118, 5 touchdowns, 867 yards. And Murray's having a really good year right now with 153 yards rushing. Not a lot of yards, but 3 touchdowns. And I think I like the Raiders this year. I think that they're kind of fighting for their way to stay in Oakland, but I doubt that's going to happen. But no, I'm taking the Raiders on the road over the Joe Flacco and the Ravens.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Raiders in this game too, because of the sole fact that the Ravens they seem to find a way to win against mediocre offenses with the Bills, who they only won 13-7. The Browns put up 20 points on them, and then the Jaguars only put up 17. But I mean, they're not great offenses, and the Raiders have a twice better offense than all 3 of those teams. So put me down for the Raiders to go in to Baltimore and give the Ravens their first loss this year.
All right. So the next one, Lions at Bears.
Yeah, we got the Lions at the Bears.
And I was at the Cowboy-Bears game Sunday night. And what I saw from the Bears especially in the first half, was they are awful.
I said the Browns are the worst team in the NFL. The Bears have to be
not
right there, chin level with them. They are just they.
I think the Browns could beat the Bears easily.
I think it could too, but it's just so fact that the Browns just have that Brown luck.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is with me is they lost Jay Cutler, and Brian Hoyer came in, sucked it up. The third quarter they did good against the Cowboys. They played decent. They were starting to come back. But then Hoyer throws an interception and basically just goes downhill. And now their leading rusher, Langford, is expected to miss like 4 weeks with an ankle injury. So now, since they don't have a rushing game, and they just signed Bell, a former running back for the Lions, I don't see them getting any type of better, just a whole lot worse. So put me down for the Lions because Matt Stafford, he's having a Matt Stafford year with already 120 attempts. And 7 touchdowns, 985 yards. But then also Amir Abdullah's having a heck of a year, even though he's hurt. But then his backup, Theo Riddick, last week did pretty well. He's 28 attempts, 91 yards, and a touchdown. But he's also a great receiver out of the backfield with 16 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. So that's a weakness of the Bears is covering short yardage passes. So I think Reddick's going to be a huge X factor in this game. So put me down for the Lions.
Yeah, I got the Lions too. Just sole fact that the Bears are god awful.
Oh, they are awful.
That's the only reason why I'm picking the Lions. The Lions, I don't think are very good this year.
A lot better than
but they are just everybody is better than the Browns and the Bears this year. So put me down for the Lions, please.
All
right,
babies.
We finally get into the afternoon games of this Sunday as the Denver Broncos at 3:05 p.m. on CBS travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Who you got in this one, Dylan?
JD?
Yeah.
I'm going to sound crazy. I'm going to sound insane. But put me down for the Broncos. I'm saying the Broncos in this game. People are going to be like, Dylan, why are you picking the best defense in the NFL?
Everybody's being sarcastic right now.
Why are you picking a offense that's not very effective but can move the football effectively, I guess you could say, because of their defense? So put me down for the Broncos. I'm crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos, too. I think that defense is just going to give Jameis Winston fits. Even though I think Jameis Winston is a great quarterback for how young he is, I just feel like that defense is going to throw many zone blitzes at him and just get him off his track. And then Trevor Siemian has really impressed me, especially last week, how he was able to throw the ball down the field and get Emmanuel Sanders involved again with this offense, and once again get Demaryius Thomas in his routine. And I believe the Broncos are going to go in there. They're going to stop Tampa Bay, and I believe Broncos will be able to move the ball on offense, and they'll come out with a big victory.
Yeah, and the reason I'm also picking the Broncos is because Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers, he has 8 touchdowns this year and 6 interceptions. With the style of offense they play is not going to work against this Bronco defense because they like to throw long bombs and they try to put it up for Mike Evans, because he's a huge receiver, probably one of the biggest in the league. But with this, you can't do that. That's why he's got 6 interceptions already this year, because he makes bad decisions and he never checks down. He always tries to go for his top target most of the time. And I think he's definitely got to mature with those decisions. So that's another reason for me not being sarcastic. So
yeah, I like that pick, Dylan. All right, on to our next game at 3:25 p.m. Central Time on Fox. In Glendale, Arizona, we have the Rams traveling to take on the Cardinals.
Give me Patrick Peterson and the Cardinals defense. I'm going to give them credit for this win because the Rams offense, Case Keenum, or if they start Goff, doubt it. But it's just this Cardinal defense is too much. We wouldn't have thought that the we wouldn't have thought that the Rams would be 2-1, but there's no way I think they're going to go into Arizona and beat Arizona with that red zone there. The red zone's their big fan section behind the end zone, but it gets really loud in there. Tyrann Mathieu, Tony Jefferson, Patrick Peterson, that's secondary for the Cardinals, and also with Chad Jones anchoring down that defensive line, I think it's just going to give Case Keenum a nightmare Sunday. So put me down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I keep saying that a lot. I feel like I've said that a lot
I'm right there
tonight.
with you.
But, the Cardinals is a divisional matchup at home. They desperately need to show out after that embarrassing performance up in Buffalo last week. So give me the Cardinals because the Rams won't be able to move the ball unless Todd Gurley just has a field day for some god-awful reason. But give me the Cardinals because I believe they'll be able to move the ball on that Rams defense, unlike how Seattle was able to not be able to 2 weeks ago. And I think Cardinals will win this game by 10 points. And on to our next matchup. The New Orleans Saints travel to San Diego to take on the Chargers.
Why? Why did I watch? Okay, you see, I don't know which was worse. I started watching the presidential debates, then I got really annoyed with that, and so I went on to watch the Falcons Saints, and that was even worse. As soon as I started watching, the Falcons just started lighting up the Saints defense. I don't know what. Okay, so go ahead and put me down. Chargers for sure. Chargers win this because it's at home and the Saints are just awful, especially on the road, even though they're awful at home this year. The reason I say this, I think the Saints will maybe win 2 games this year because of what I saw. This one particular play, Matt Ryan ran back about 5 yards, scrambled out, ran back into the pocket, and was able to run for about 10 yards. And the Saints were only rushing. I think the Saints were rushing 5 people, and they still could not get Matt Ryan or past that offensive line. The only person they have on that defense is Cam Jordan. That is it. And he cannot do that by himself. You've seen defensive linemen who are great but cannot help a defense out, especially with J.J. Watt before they started building around the secondary. So definitely the Chargers. I think Phillip Rivers has a field day against the Saints. If you have him benched, I'd put him in at quarterback for fantasy. I think if you have a quarterback playing the Saints, put him in.
All I gotta say is this is gonna be a shootout, and I believe that the Chargers defense is just awful. It's awful along with the Saints defense, so it's gonna be a big time shootout. And you know what? I think somehow Sean Payton and Drew Brees make plays, come up with some crazy plays, and just light up the scoreboard against the Chargers. And I'm gonna say the Saints win 55-52.
JD, why do I even have you on the show anymore?
You're fired.
Just go away. Get out of here. You didn't watch? You watched the debates Monday, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you did not watch this football game.
I watched the football game too.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Dylan, the Chargers defense is awful. It is awful.
The Falcons defense is not good at all.
The Falcons defense is better than the Chargers defense.
I don't know. I might not have you back next week. Let's finish it. Next game.
Dylan, okay, let me just point this out to you. The Chargers have given up 33, 38, and 26 points to the Chiefs, Jaguars, and Colts.
Okay.
That is horrible. All right, let's just go to the next game.
Goodness.
All right, we got the Cowboys traveling to Santa Clara, California to take on the 49ers.
All right. Well, like I said, I was there at the Cowboy Bear game Sunday. And after being there, I have easily turned myself into a Cowboy believer and a Cowboy fan. After the game, not because of what I saw Dak Prescott, again, as a rookie, confident, poised, and a great game manager on on an NFL football field. And when I talked to him afterward in the locker room, he's not rattled by reporters or anything. I know he's been used to it since Mississippi State, but he seems like a veteran talking. He knows what he's talking about. And I was talking to a bunch of Dallas media people, and what I like about Dak Prescott is because, well, one, the Dallas media people, everyone there thinks Romo's just gone. Everyone's all about on the Dak train right now, but there's a joke going on between the media people there about Dak is because every time you ask him about his performance, his first response is, well, I got to look at the tape. I feel good about it, but I have to review myself first. And that shows great, amazing work ethic and like how he's very humble and he makes sure that he's going to get better next week, which is a great thing to have. And I think Cowboys stole Dak Prescott, and I think he's going to be an excellent quarterback. It's going to get a lot more rough these upcoming games because they're going to have more film on him. But Dak Prescott, I think, is the perfect solution for the Cowboys. So sign me up for the Cowboys versus the 49ers. Sorry. Because their defense, yes, it was the Bears, but their defense looked really good. And also what I really noticed at the game was Morris Claiborne actually had a really good game with like 4 pass deflections and about 3 tackles. He had a great game Sunday. And when I talked to him, he says he's felt like the best he's ever felt health-wise. So definitely helping out the secondary there. So, yeah, Cowboys for me.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys too.
Gosh, JD, stop agreeing with me.
I'm sorry, man. I'm going with what I think's going to happen. And I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. The 49ers are just going to let Colin Kaepernick – sorry I'm getting political with this, but they're just going to let Colin Kaepernick steal the show by kneeling down on the sidelines and taking all the attention away from his team from getting a victory. And Dak Prescott's going to sit back there poised in the pocket, and he's going to pick apart this 49ers defense and get a victory.
All right. So,
and on to the Sunday night football game as the Kansas City Chiefs go into the terrible towel of Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got, Dylan?
have you ever been to England? You haven't, have you? Neither have I. But I've seen pictures of Big Ben. And I've seen pictures of Ben Roethlisberger. And they kind of look alike. One can throw a football, the other can't. But the one who can throw a football throws it very well. And with Le'Veon Bell coming back, I think that they continue playing Williams as well. So I think the rushing attack gets 2 times better with Bell as the red zone threat and Williams as the, probably third down back and, maybe midfield around that area running back. So give me the Steelers. I think I think the defense is going to hold Alex Smith and Jeremy Maclin. But I think the X factor is going to be the run game of the Steelers, and we'll see if the Chiefs will be able to hold. I cannot say too much about this game because I have not watched the Chiefs a lot, but I have watched the Steelers a lot. And even last week with the game against Philadelphia, it shows Carson Wentz. He's no pushover. He's kind of just like Dak. I would still take Dak over Wentz. I think they're both just a perfect fit for their team right now. So yeah, I'm going with Pittsburgh. Just because I still think they're probably in the top 5 best teams in the league right now.
Once again, Dylan, we agree.
Dang it!
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but with this game being at home and Le'Veon Bell coming back from his 3-game suspension, I think he's about to light it up. He's going to give Big Ben another weapon in the passing game, not named Antonio Brown. And who knows? The Chiefs are still trying to figure it out on offense. So just give me the Steelers in this one.
All right.
And on to the final game of our pick'em. We have Monday night. We have the Giants heading to Minneapolis, Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
All right. Well, I'm a huge believer in the Vikings now. I think it's a perfect fit for Sam Bradford. I actually had a interview with Sam Bradford over the phone, and this is what he had to say whenever he got to Minnesota.
Peas and carrots.
That's the only thing he said. That was not Forrest Gump. That was actually Sam Bradford and how he feels with that offense. And it looks just like that. You know, with Stephon Diggs, he is lighting it up. Stephon Diggs is killing it right now. Even with Peterson gone, and people are saying he might be rushing his injury. And if I was the Vikings, I'd be like, it's okay. Take your time. Get healthy. Go to another team next year. Because I think this offense is so much better without Peterson. Because Peterson, I think in his contract, I'm sure it says he requires 25 carries a game. But this is the perfect offense for Sam Bradford with the tempo that it's run and how Bradford's very accurate on his short throws and for his checkdowns. And which opens up the passing game with, I don't know who they have at running back, but you know, Peterson could help out with that, but I think he would touch the ball way too much. But I think just this Bradford's just a perfect connection, and they are probably my second best team in the league right now behind the Patriots, at least right now with the way the defense is playing. Don't look at me. Yes, I said the Patriots are the best team in the league right now. Okay, but
I finally got him to say it.
The pass rush for the Vikings, they're the number one pass rushing team in the league right now. They lead the league in sacks, and they lead the league in, I think, hurries. So I think that they're going to get after Eli Manning, and he's going to have one of those 4 or 5 interception games. So give me the Vikings at home in their new U.S. Bank Stadium. And I say Vikings start 4-0.
Oh, dear God, Dylan. Why do we think the same on everything, it seems like, today? It just seems like we picked every game the same. But not so fast, my friend. I think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to have a breakout game this season, as he hasn't had yet. He has not had one this season yet.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is the game where he finally shows his fantasy football.
They are what we thought they were.
He finally shows his fantasy football value that everyone's been saying, where has he been? So I think...
Well, he was getting hit in the head by kicking. That's where he was.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that Eli is going to find a way to get Sterling Shepard involved too. And they're going to be able to pass the ball a little bit. And the Giants' defense will be able to slow down Stephon Diggs and Sam Bradford's connection. I got the Giants win this game by safety.
Oh, wow. We disagree. That's great. All right, Jay, who's calling us right now? Is it the same number?
No, it's not.
All right, let's see who it is.
No! God, please! No!
Kitty!
No!
He's calling off a landline.
No!
Oh, my God. Hey, go away.
Hey, man, dude,
Texans fans, I am so sorry. I'm there with you, but stop calling.
I told you, man. You told me not to answer the same phone number, and I didn't. And this was a different number.
I know. Jeez. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. This it's going to be a great week of football, college and NFL. So
it's always a great week when it's football season.
It's always a great week when it's football. But thank y'all for joining. Do not forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter at 1130 The Tiger. Go ahead and vote for our high school game of the week. Last week, Evangel completely dominated Parkway Panthers, the number 3 ranked Parkway Panthers in the state, 34-17. So, I'm sorry, no, 34-7 rather. And so this week we have Benton at North DeSoto. We have Captain Shreve, who beat Bird for the first time in 7 years last week, going into Bossier City and playing Airline. So a lot of good games. If your child, your neighbor, your best friend, I don't know, whoever plays on the team, go vote, because we will be there live, reporting live, and making a highlight film. If you did not see that, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, 1130 KWKH. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.